Welcome, Blenders, to the next episode of Blender Bites. I know it's been a long time, and, well, here we are, but I think I'm going to make up for it. I did promise to make some VFX tutorials, and that's what this is. Because, drumroll please, I'm going to be compositing a lightsaber. So that's like awesome. So I mean, lightsaber, Star Wars, I'm a bit of a geek, but I think it's gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and change my render presets to match the footage of which I will be inserting this into. So 100% 1920 by 1080, 60 frames per second. Go ahead and change this to MP4. And I think that about sets that up. So you can go ahead and delete the default cube and add a plane. Go into your top view by pressing numpad 7 and press Ctrl Alt 0 to snap to that view. We do not need this lamp, that is just wasted render stuff, so you see my technical terms, render stuff. Go ahead and give this plane a quick material, just shadeless, and what kind of lightsaber are we going for here? Like Mace Windu purple, or Sith red, maybe Yoda green, or Padawan blue. I'm a big fan of blue, but I don't know. Let's go with green. I will change it to 100% green. That's nice. Okay, so now you can press N to open your little toolbar here. Check background images, add image, movie clip, uncheck camera clip. Go to wherever it is that you have your footage. Mine is on my external hard drive, so just select that there. This was originally for a motion tracking test, but it worked great for this. The actual results for the motion tracking of that are pretty cool. See if it's somewhere around here. Just one moment. Okay, these were the results from my motion tracking test. It was pretty good, I think. So I was happy with that. After that point, it lost the track, so I went ahead and just cut it to be short. But here we're going to be doing it the hard way. I know it sounds so dumb, but trust me, motion tracking is a pain you don't want to get into yet. I'll probably do a tutorial on that later, but not yet. I mean, it is a pain. And so is rotoscoping, which is doing it frame by frame, but honestly, I think it's easier than motion tracking. I've spent less hours on rotoscoping than on motion tracking. So, without further ado, I believe that my endpoint here is going to be 750 frames, and my beginning is 500. So I still have 250 frames, but that just kind of cropped the video down to the right area. So that's nice. See, zoom in on my timeline a little bit. Not out, zoom in. Okay, that's good. So now I will go to frame 500 and position my lightsaber. I'm going to go into, let's just stay in object mode. Scale it this way till looks about right. You want it to be a little bit wider than your prop. So yeah, that looks about right. Got to get it rotated to where it matches. Then go to edit mode and select these top vertices here. Zoom in on those. Let me see. I like to go into wireframe mode for this part. It makes things easier. Subdivide that twice, or just give it a number of cuts, 2. Okay, giving it 2 cuts is actually different from subdividing it twice, so make sure that you do 2 cuts instead of 2 subdivisions. which I guess you could do it either way, depending on your own preference, but I like to do it like this. So just kind of position these to match, and that looks pretty good. So if we render, we just have a green thing here, and I just remembered that we also need to go to, in the render settings, shading sky transparent. So when you render that again, all this checkered mess here will later become your footage. So this background image right here was just for us to line up the lightsaber, but it won't render. So to do that, we go into the node compositor, which I think is where we're going to be for the rest of this tutorial. So just drag your render layers over here, your composite over here, and go Shift A, Output Viewer. Drag that right here. And lots of people ask me, or ask people just in general, how you do that to add that little node in right there. And the simple answer is you just press Shift and drag. It's that simple. So it's a really handy tool. I like it. So anyways, you can just press Fit to align this. Now add an alpha over node under your color to fill in this alpha. Move this to the bottom, because for some reason with the alpha over, the bottom part goes on top and the top part goes on bottom. So now add in a input, and image seems to move smoother, but there's more settings to mess with, and we already have the movie clip loaded in. So you can go ahead and just do this. I have a pretty robust computer, so it won't make a difference. So now you can see it fits on there nicely, but I mean, it's kind of lame. I mean, not kind of, that really, really stinks. That is not a lightsaber. So to make it one, what you gotta do is add several nodes, actually just 3, but unless you're color grading or something, you can leave this movie clip down here alone, so just drag it out of the way. Drag these also out of the way to give you maximum room, and this as well. So add Shift A, filter, blur. Now set the X and the Y to 2, and the size to 6, and 2 more nodes to add, but they happen to be the same one. So just add a hue saturation value and duplicate it. Now if you leave all of these alone except for the saturation and put it on 0.25, and then put this saturation all the way up and this value all the way up, voila! You have a muy beautiful lightsaber. So, I mean, that's basically it. You can get all fancy and mask out this whole area here on your movie clip and give it a blur edge effect, and then brighten it up to get some artificial lighting over your face, and then add this clip back in under an alpha over node to make it all fancy. But I mean, honestly, if you just kind of crank up the blur a bit, maybe put it on 8, it adds a little bit of artificial lighting of its own. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, you can mess with that if you want, but I had trouble getting good results doing that artificial lighting anyway. So honestly, not much of a point. But in the next tutorial, in part 2, we will get into rotoscoping the thing, and because now it's composited. I usually like to do the animation first and then composite, but in this case, animation's the hard part, and sometimes it sounds kind of dumb, but it's best to do the hard part last. So I went ahead and got this part out of the way, and next time I will show you guys how to rotoscope it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.